My beloved child, listen carefully, because this is not an ordinary message. Shadows have moved silently around you, weaving lies, plotting against your destiny. Today, those shadows are being ripped apart, and the faces behind them are being exposed. From the very beginning, you felt an uneasy presence, yet you could not name it. The whispers, the strange delays, the moments when opportunities slipped through your fingers, none of this was coincidence. There was a hand, hidden, guiding these betrayals against you. Tonight, the truth rises like fire, burning through every disguise they wore. And among those names that will be revealed, one will shake your spirit to the core, because it is closer than you ever imagined. The mask is falling, and the enemy you once trusted will be exposed. This revelation is not meant to break you, it is meant to awaken you. For heaven has decided that enough is enough, and the veil of secrecy cannot remain any longer. The truth will arrive at your door, and it will not be gentle. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The reason this exposure feels so urgent is because their plan had reached its final stage. They believed your silence was weakness, but it was not silence, it was divine patience. What they plotted in darkness is now being dragged into the light for you to see clearly. Archangel Michael says, the sword of justice has already been lifted. Nothing can shield them now, for the balance has shifted in your favor. The protection over your life is unbreakable, and those who tried to harm you will taste the bitterness of their own traps. Do you feel the sudden tension in the air? That heaviness pressing on your chest is the energy of truth breaking through. It is the atmosphere shifting as the hidden names begin to surface. And one name, the one you least expect, will strike like lightning. This exposure may sting, but it will also set you free. Freedom from lies, freedom from manipulation, freedom from the false loyalty that chained you to disappointment. Heaven is cutting away the rotten branches so that new fruit can grow in your life. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Their envy could no longer be disguised. Every smile they gave you, every word of support they pretended to offer, was laced with poison. They wanted your fall, not your rise, but heaven has intercepted their desires. My beloved child, you will see proof soon. Documents, conversations, and sudden slips will confirm the truth. They will not be able to hide behind sweet words anymore, because their actions are already screaming louder than their silence. The path ahead is not one of fear, but of empowerment. With every truth that is revealed, your strength multiplies. The exposure of enemies is the unlocking of blessings, for heaven clears your circle before opening the next great chapter of your story. This moment marks a divine separation. Those who once sat at your table are about to be removed. And those who will remain are only the ones who carry genuine light for you. Type Amen to get blessing 555. My beloved child, the next wave of truth arrives now, and it will not be subtle. Names will fall like leaves, each one revealing a motive and a thread of deception. As each thread is pulled, a larger tapestry of betrayal will unravel before your eyes. They rehearsed their smiles and perfected their lies, but rehearsals leave traces. Small slips, forgotten messages, and sudden contradictions will line up like breadcrumbs leading to the heart of their scheme. Follow these signs with steady breath, for revelation comes with clarity, not chaos. A quiet drama played out while you trusted, and that drama is ending tonight. Those who acted humble will be seen in raw light, their true colors bared for everyone to notice. The humiliation they feared has already arrived because truth has no mercy for those who hide in shadows. Archangel Michael says, "The shield that guarded you has been reinforced, and justice moves with steady purpose." Old debts are being balanced, and what was stolen is preparing to return to its rightful place. Stand firm as heaven rearranges the pieces, for what is being taken from the wicked will be placed into your hands. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Expect the unexpected delivery of proof that cannot be denied. Screenshots, recordings, and sudden witness accounts will appear as if summoned by the wind. Each piece of evidence will land like a gavel, sealing the case that was whispered about in secret corners. Your sleep will feel different after this night because knowing replaces the anxious fog. The chest that once tightened with confusion will begin to loosen, making room for decisions that protect your peace. This is a season to clear the air and to refuse further infiltration into your life. Some will attempt a last-minute scramble to rewrite the story, but lies do not rewrite well under light. As their versions fracture, the people who stood with them will drift away, unable to bear the weight of truth. The circle will narrow, leaving only pure hearts close enough to walk with you into the next chapter. A different kind of freedom waits beyond these exposures, freedom that tastes like relief and righteous forward motion. The void left by betrayal will be filled with people and opportunities aligned to your destiny. Trust that the gap is intentional, heaven preparing a space for better souls and true alliances. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Do not be surprised if someone you once called family becomes the loudest accuser. Proximity often breeds both intimacy and the opportunity for injury, and those nearest sometimes orchestrate the deepest cuts. Their betrayal will sting, yet it will also act as a gatekeeper, keeping you from further harm disguised as closeness. When the name that shocks you is revealed, breathe slowly and then breathe again. Shock has power only when it is left to echo in the mind without direction. Direct that shock into action that secures your safety, dignity, and future, for revelation without strategy leaves one vulnerable to rumor and reprisal. There will be practical consequences to manage, and you will need wise counsel to guide each step. Legal clarity, financial checks, and deliberate boundaries will be your allies in this season. Surround yourself with truth-tellers and professionals who speak plainly and act efficiently on your behalf. A spiritual clearing must accompany every practical measure because wounds left in the unseen realm attract more trouble. Simple rituals of protection, short declarations of ownership over your peace, and regular quiet time will anchor you. This dual approach, earthly action and spiritual tending, will fortify your path. Type Amen to get blessing 999. You may discover that some of the conspirators acted out of fear rather than malice, and that realization will shift how you respond. Mercy is a tool of power, not weakness, and choosing how much mercy to offer is part of reclaiming your authority. Let discernment be your guide so that compassion does not become permission for more harm. Hold fast to your identity as someone who deserves integrity in every relationship. Do not trade your dignity for the temporary relief of appeasing a liar. Stand in the truth of your value, and let that standard reshape who remains in your life moving forward. There will be unexpected allies who step forward with courage, people who risk comfort to speak the truth. These allies will be rare and precious, and they will become new pillars in your life. Treasure their arrival and invest in those relationships that increase mutual light and safety. Forgiveness will come later as a choice you make for yourself, not as an obligation to them. For now, priority belongs to rebuilding. Your focus must be on restoration, not on rescuing those who broke your trust. Type Amen to get blessing 111. As the scandal unfolds, do not be surprised if some try to flip the narrative and play the martyr. Gaslighting is a last-ditch performance designed to confuse and to reassert control. Refuse to engage in that theater, and instead present the facts calmly and without drama to competent authorities and those who must know. Your presence will be your testimony, calm and unshakable. Power does not need loud defense when truth stands behind it. Move deliberately, speak with purpose, and record each step for the safety of your future. There will be losses to mourn, and mourning is an essential ritual for closure. Allow the grief to move through you without shame, for grief is the price of love and investment, not a sign of weakness. Let it cleanse you so that new strength can grow from the cleared soil. After mourning, plant boundaries like stakes in the earth, and do not remove them because of nostalgia. Boundaries will become the steady fences of your restored life, keeping out opportunists who mistake your kindness for availability. Protect your heart with practical limits and clear terms for any renewed interaction. Type Amen to get blessing 222. The one name that shocks you will likely be closer than you thought, and that proximity will force a decisive separation. The severing of that tie will be painful, but it will also be liberating in ways you cannot yet measure. When the dust settles, you will see new doors opening, doors that were closed while the imposter stood at your gate. Keep your face lifted toward what is coming, not glued to what has been lost. Forward movement is healing, and each small step will teach your feet to trust again. The future waiting for you is built on integrity, and those who match that integrity will arrive with their hands open. Acceptance does not mean agreement with what happened, it means choosing peace over perpetual battle. Decide today to focus on rebuilding instead of resentment, and watch how energy shifts in your favor. The release of bitterness creates space for blessings that have been queued for your life. Finally, hold steady because the final act of this exposure is blessing disguised as deliverance. When the names are read and the masks fall, your life will change course toward safety, abundance, and meaningful truth. Walk into that new season with quiet confidence and steady faith in the justice that has already begun to move. Type Amen to get blessing 333. My beloved child, the hourglass of deception has been turned and the grains fall with relentless clarity. Each grain carries a revelation that will land on the names you once trusted and strip their gloss away. What remains after the dust settles will be the truth you were always meant to hold. Their excuses will sound thin when compared to the evidence that arrives like dawn. Small inconsistencies will multiply until they cannot be explained away, and the pattern of betrayal will read like a confession. Do not be surprised by the speed of this unmasking because heaven has quickened the timeline. Your instincts that whispered warnings were not spiteful feelings but sensors of a soul tuned to justice. That inner alarm now rings louder because the moment to act has come and mercy and accountability must both be honored. Move with steady courage and allow the unfolding truth to be your guide. When names are named and proofs are shown, clarity will cut through the fog and provide a space to reclaim your life. This clarity will permit wise choices, not reckless retaliation, and will invite allies who have been waiting for the right timing to step forward. Anchor yourself in calm strength and take the steps that protect your future. Type Amen to get blessing 4444. Some who conspired believed their schemes were invisible because they hid behind trust and routine. Their ordinary gestures will now be read differently under the light of honest evidence. What they once called normal will reveal itself as manipulation designed to rearrange your destiny. Allow the revelations to act as a sieve, separating the sincere from the false. You will learn to tell the difference between those whose hearts steady your path and those who aim to redirect it for their gain. This discernment is a new gift arriving to guard the next seasons of your life. There will be a quiet satisfaction in watching truth triumph, not from malice but from the relief of wrongs being corrected. The relief will feel like cool water on a fevered brow and will steady your steps toward reconstruction. Keep that feeling as a beacon when decisions require firmness. Do not mistake exposure for finality, because the real transformation begins after the names are read and the records are set straight. Restoration requires planning, trusted counsel, and a willingness to protect what is newly yours. This is the moment to build with intention and refuse sloppy reunions with those who failed you. Type Amen to get blessing 5555. Archangel Michael says, "Let justice move without haste and let wisdom steer every action you take in response." The celestial armies do not rush recklessly, and neither should you, for the long game is won by patience and precision. Keep records, keep counsel, and keep your spirit steady as the legal and spiritual work unfolds. You will face choices about forgiveness, legal recourse, and public clarity, and each choice will reshape your life's boundaries. Choose actions that conserve your peace and expand your dignity, and let every public word be measured and purposeful. This is not a moment for breathless declarations but for strategic, calm moves that protect your name. New witnesses will appear not out of drama but because truth draws people who have courage to stand on the right side. Their arrival will feel like reinforcements sent exactly when you needed them, and their testimony will anchor the case against deceit. Receive them with gratitude and allow their presence to strengthen your position. There will also be quiet victories you do not announce, small restitutions and restored opportunities that arrive without fanfare. These are the subtle signs that the rebalancing you prayed for is actively happening and that heaven is redirecting what was stolen. Keep watch for these gentle returns and celebrate them in private if you need to. Type Amen to get blessing 6666. As some doors close because of exposed betrayals, other doors will open because your integrity proves magnetic to the right people. New collaborators and protectors will gravitate towards someone who chose truth over compromise and courage over silence. Their presence will reshape your future into a safer, more abundant terrain. Rebuild your inner circle deliberately and slowly, testing by actions rather than promises alone, and let loyalty be earned through consistent light. Those who remain will carry weight and truth. Invest in them with discernment and mutual care. This selective rebuilding will create a sanctuary for your progress. Guard your heart from rumor and the temptation to poison your peace with replayed injury. Remember that your primary responsibility in this season is to your future self and to the legacy you will leave behind. Protect your energy like the priceless resource it is. There will be seasons of quiet joy after the upheaval, days when the sky feels wider and the burdens feel lighter because the weight of hidden enemies has been lifted. These seasons are the reward of standing in truth and allowing justice to realign your life. Walk into them humbly and with gratitude, for they are the fruit of endurance. Type Amen to get blessing 7777. Practical steps will anchor your spiritual posture, and you must act on both levels without neglecting either. Organize your documents, secure your accounts, consult trusted advisors, and set legal protections where needed. Parallel to this, maintain daily practices that center you spiritually so that decisions made from rest are wiser and more enduring. There will be moments when part of you wants to rush back into old patterns out of loneliness or habit, and those impulses will be the very places the enemy tests your resolve. Stand firm in boundaries and let time reveal who is genuinely committed to walking beside you. Time is a truth agent that filters motives and clarifies intentions. As your circle refines and the landscape of your life changes, notice who celebrates your healing without anxiety or expectation. These celebrants are the seeds of a faithful future, and their support will be steady and sustaining. Welcome them openly and guard those relationships with grateful nurture. You will not need to announce every detail or justify every feeling because peace will grow louder than explanations and results will speak louder than accusations. Live in the outcomes of truth rather than the noise of the past, and allow your restored life to be the best rebuttal. There is power in quiet, consistent rebuilding. Type Amen to get blessing 8888. My beloved child, the next chapter arrives now, and it carries both the sting of revelation and the balm of purpose. The truth that once hid in corners will now be carted into the center of your life where it can no longer harm in silence. As each fact lands, you will feel the gravity shift and your footing grow steadier. The people who thought they controlled your story will find their scripts torn from their hands, and what remains will be the clean pages you are free to write upon. Old agreements crumble in light, and that collapse will reveal where repair is truly needed. This is the work of clearing, not the accidental ruin of what was good. You will notice a new rhythm in your days as drama dissipates and structure returns. Tasks that once felt heavy will lighten because the weight of secrecy is gone. Your time will again answer to purpose and not to the chaos others engineered. Your instincts will sharpen now in a new way, not by fear but by wisdom learned through trial. You will recognize patterns faster and refuse invitations that are thinly veiled traps. Let this sharpened discernment be your quiet advantage in every decision. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. There will be voices that applaud your downfall because they feared your rise, and those same voices will fall silent when truth removes their cover. Silence is not always defeat, sometimes it is the necessary sound of a liar being exposed. Let their silence confirm what your spirit already knew. Practical restoration will follow exposure, in forms both small and grand. Financial accounts will be checked, signatures will be verified, and misplaced opportunities will be reclaimed. These are the small victories that rebuild the foundations beneath your feet. Do not be surprised if promises made to you in the past now come forward as confessions or apologies. Words that once served as camouflage will now serve as evidence. Keep an archive of what is spoken and what is shown so the record matches memory and truth. That record will be your ally in the weeks to come. Move from reaction into design as swiftly as you can, for action chosen in calm creates permanence. Design your next steps with people who have proven steady, not only eloquent. Stability will matter more than flair as you reconstruct the life that was nearly stolen. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. There will be moments when popularity and appearance feel like the only currency, but this season will teach you the value of depth over display. Those who stayed when nothing was convenient will now stand as the pillars of your renewed life. Invest in them with clarity and intention. Unexpected doors will open that bear no resemblance to what was lost, and their uniqueness will proclaim a greater wisdom at work. These new paths will fit better, moving you toward outcomes aligned with your truest longings, not the TR. Archangel Michael says, guards are already posted unseen, and the helpers who arrive will carry more than advice, they will bring restoration. Their presence will feel like a steady hand on your shoulder, guiding you through paperwork, through conversations, and through the quiet nights of doubt. Receive them with measured gratitude and sober joy. As you accept their help, remember that sovereignty over your life remains yours. Help does not remove responsibility, it empowers it. Use every assist to increase your ability to protect, not to outsource your vigilance. This balance will be the art of wise recovery. Type Amen to get blessing 3434. There will be tests disguised as opportunities, and discernment will be required to avoid falling back into old patterns. The enemy of your peace will still seek access through familiar routes, but your boundaries will now be stronger and more visible. Let those boundaries act as a welcome mat only to what honors your dignity. Keep a short list of non-negotiables and let those essentials guide every choice. Non-negotiables are not harsh rules but sacred commitments to the life you are building. Respect them and let them filter invitations you receive. You will experience tender moments where grief and gratitude intertwine, and those moments will teach you how to carry loss while remaining open to new joy. Grief will be honest and necessary, while gratitude will be the steadying light that prevents bitterness from taking root. Allow both to run their course without shame. Practical closure may include firm conversations that clarify boundaries and remove access. These conversations will not be about revenge but about clarity and protection. Speak plainly, and then hold to the outcomes you set. Type Amen to get blessing 4545. As the landscape of your relationships reshapes, celebrate the quiet ones who remained consistent. Their small acts of care will reveal themselves as lifelines when storms come. Treasure them and cultivate those roots deeply. There will also be a surprising increase in your capacity to create. Projects that stalled will now find momentum, and creative energies long suppressed will stir awake. Use this surge to plant seeds that matter, not to reenact past patterns that led to compromise. Let your craft be an act of reclamation. Do not allow a single shocking name to define your entire story. It is only a chapter and not the full volume of who you are. Your identity rests on truth, purpose, and the future you choose, not on the betrayals that tried to redirect you. Stand firm in that greater identity. In time you will tell this story differently, with less heat and more wisdom, and the telling will be an invitation for others to avoid the same traps. Your testimony will become a beacon, not a weapon, and through it many will find courage to protect their own lives. Type Amen to get blessing 5656. Practical guards will include changed passwords, updated legal documents, and clear delegations of authority where needed. These are small, mundane actions that yield profound peace. Treat them as spiritual hygiene and do them consistently. There will be days when the momentum feels slow and disappointment risks re-entering. In those moments, return to your list of wins, no matter how small, and let that evidence convince you of progress. Small wins compound into lasting change when honored daily. You are being taught a new form of leadership, one that values truth, patience, and strategic mercy over spectacle. Lead your life with that new curriculum, and you will find allies who match those values. They will be rare, and their rarity will be a sign of quality, not scarcity. As the days unfold, allow yourself to receive good things without suspicion. Blessings given by honest hands are not traps but restorations. Receive them fully and let your life be renovated in ways you once only dreamed. Type Amen to get blessing 6767.